Give my niggas daps. Yo, Whiteman, check this out. I gotta give you my little rundown of, well, I'll just give you the rundown. So, you got an origin here, right? You got Native Americans, Africans. I don't think it goes back any further, but you got dark people moving on up to the scale of white people. White people are on the end, all right? You can't lie because your hair gets all white and frail at the end. White man, you're a little bit frail, and you're at the end. So what happens is you're at the end, and it's like a wave. Once the wave is coming to an end, a crash, this is your job, white man, is that you're supposed to be a watcher. You're supposed to be a preserver. Right? There's not going to be any evolution for you. You're not making any new isms or anything like that. You're supposed to watch over these things and make sure the other cultures are staying intact and they all have all their origins intact. So you're not stealing stuff. You're not, all the other shit, pirating or whatever the hell they're calling it out there. You're supposed to keep it real, not just run off like, oh, it's all illusion, blah, 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 because that's a whole other thing. And that's why you're getting, hung up in what you're getting in. Eric Weinstein, that's why the umbrella is exploding in your face. So that's your culture. That's what you are, is you're a preserver. You're not really a police of the world, but I'm sure it's like a preserver. You could probably pass off with that. And even the top of the fucking wave, when it's crashing, it's white, motherfucker. What don't you see in the living word? So you're able to, nothing's going to go past, you're going to become fucking robots is what you're going to become, transformers, if anything. So you have these other cultures here, let's say in a timeline, and then you get to the end, and you have the white motherfucker. I don't care if he doesn't like that, because he talks about freedom of speech, non-duality, and all the other stuff. That's why I talk to him like that. Your job is to make sure that the other cultures aren't getting stolen from. Alright? And that's what I do. That's what you should do. It seems to work out magnificently. Untouchable, white man. I'm untouchable to you, white man. And you fuck with him like that too, because he's out there talking about, oh, I got unbeatable mind, do this and do that. Every time I follow the advice of the white man, I get in trouble even with him. Only with him too. And it usually seems that what I'm saying is accurate because in the future, that's what this motherfucker tries to do. Sorry, excuse my language. But that's what he's trying to do. Now, when I try to do to him what he tries to do, or what he says to do, I get in trouble. Alright, he calls it an art, a magic, a this, a that. He's always flip-flopping too. Calls it a magic or an art. So if you go and do art to him, he starts censoring you. But at the same time, he's saying don't censor things. Because if you censor things, then that constrains or restricts creativity and expansion. And you need freedom to expand. Outside of your little box, your little feelings, and things like that. So that's kind of what I do, is that I see in my mind that everything came from a roots. And the white man in his fucking circus got all the way to the end and there's nothing more. He can't go anymore. He's like clawing for this evolution that he just can't give up. And the roots are just pulling him back. And he's clawing at the ground. He's not going anywhere. His academia is imploding now because he's not, he's been drugged out of this illusion. He doesn't have any more bullshit left to cast or play around with unless he's making fucking comics or some other shit. And even then, he's using old comics, the old comics that already been around. Spider-Man, Moon Knight, and he's just putting new words, new filler in the shit. But it's the same stuff at the roots, at the bare, at the core, whatever he wants to call it. And in order to live this illusion, he's got to do all sorts of stuff that is counterproductive to what's actually going on. and how the universe is actually talking to him, but he doesn't see that. You know, it's like he doesn't care. And that's a whole other topic. But you know, it's crazy out there because they're trying to rename stuff. They're trying to put new labels on stuff so they can try and pass it off as new. And it's just a bunch of trickster shit. It reminds me of like Jacob when he tricks Esau out of his blessing. And that's like all this motherfucker does out there is try to trick people out of their inheritance, their blessings before, and then rename it to art. Oh, it's his new art. It's his new creation. And it's just not working out for him. It's not going to work out for him. And the more he does that, the more he's going to lose the future as he's getting pulled away from this thing he thinks is a future. And every time, if you're doing the correct thing, you could crash on him like a wave. You take his future and everything else. He'll ban, block, and silence you. He won't even try to debate. If you set everything up right in your delivery and stuff, and your approach, he doesn't even try to debate. He just goes right for the ban, block, and silence. He's a little bitch. And I'm kind of tired of him being like that because it's unfair to the rest of the world. And he's gotten to the end of his rope. I think that's the expression. And he's seeing that there's no more bullshit. He's at the bottom of Jacob's well, and there's nowhere left for him to run and hide. Except for running into the fucking movies and all the other shit. That's why he thinks his life is a movie, because he's so dead, he's walked in death for so long, that the fucking movies are more realistic than he is. And the movies are dictating more of his life than he is. He can't understand that. He thinks the movies are future. Or that the past in 1984, whatever dude wrote that book, is now the future. But he can't go all the way back to the dogma and be like, wow, the dogma was, there's the future in the dogma. That we're just blindly trying to walk into. And the universe is like, don't do that. Look, here, go back and check this out. And he don't want to do that. He wants to run away from religious things, spiritual things, to try and create his own ism. He's always creating a fucking ism. That's another thing. Anytime someone's putting an ism on the end of something, I know it's their new brand, their new creation. They're branded like cattle. So if you want to convert something or subvert people, then what you look for is a suffix like that, ism. And you're like, oh, this person doesn't even know. So they're trying to like make something close to the roots, but not identical, so they can try to call it their new ism. But all they're doing is cherry picking and taking from the past. And it's just not working out for them on a lot of levels. And it's not even magic anymore. It's not even fun. It's not even funny. It never was magic. I put that out there as magic so the white man could excuse his lying and call his lying magic and all this other shit. So you have to trick them. You have to do everything backwards. It's the stupidest thing. You know, it's just lame. Stop being lame. That's all.